the 49ers have dealt with a lot of coaching and coordinator changes, whether it's offensive coordinators that are just leaving every damn year, defensive coordinators every other year. Bringing in Steve Wilks, and again, like, let me just say this: I freaking love Steve Wilks so much. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. That's all I want to do. Not necessarily even about football. I just love his passion and the things that he always says. Like, I just like, ooh, I want to save that phrase, right? Be in the moment, be where your feet are, build relationships, focus on people. And I'm just like, oh, this is a man after my own heart now. Not to mention just the legends that he has coached. And I wanted to start with this. I'm going to start with the Demo clip, Deommodore Lenoir, who got to speak to the media. And it's always fun when players first start speaking to the media because it's a trained skill. It's funny. Like, how do I say this? A lot of people are bad in front of the mic or in front of speaking in public is hard for a lot of people, right? It's like one of the biggest fears, whatever. And Debo, like, he's a dog. He calls himself the hyena because he's going to play dirty and scrap and whatever. And we see that on the field. But you put people behind the mic, they kind of struggle a little bit. But Debo has such a good personality. When he was asked about Wilks and what it's like, listen to this clip and what he tabbed. I'm stealing this from now on. Thank you, Demo. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to take it. When asked about what it was like playing with Wilks.
I mean, I was very impressed. He like the godfather of the DBs. He got every answer, and he always a positive person. There was plays that I didn't give up in OTAs, and then it was never like a real like breaking me down. It was always bringing me up and just telling me, how I could be better. So I'm a coachable person. So like, I know when a coach is coaching me hard, he's not trying to like tear me down for real. He just, he's trying to bring the best out of me, and that's like some players, that's how they operate. And I'm kind of one of those players, but at the same time, if you bring positivity, I'm also react too.
The godfather of DBs, as he coined, the legend, the stud. I thought that was really, really cool because, man, listen to these names. Okay. I went through and I just started pulling names, and I'm sure there's more, and I'm sure I'm leaving off a lot of names on here, right? Guys that he has coached that are just defensive backs. I'm not even like all defensive players. Josh Norman in his prime when he was an All-Pro, right? Sean Springs, Denzel Ward, Buda Baker, Quentin Jammer, one of my personal all-time favorite athletes ever in the history of football. Eric Weddle, Carlos Rogers, 49ers own, right? Charles Peanut Tillman, Ryan Clark, Sean Taylor. And I know I'm leaving off guys. I know I am. I know there's more. But you start seeing like all those freaking names, and it's like, good gosh. We went from having, Robert Saleh, who was great, young, energetic pup, to D'Amico Ryans, younger, more energetic-er. I'm pretty sure that's a word, energetic-er. I know the correct word, but I don't want to use it. Young pup, not a lot of coaching experience. To now you're going gray beard, baby. Gray freaking beard, but every time he talks, I just love it, and I get so excited. And so the question was, that we keep harking back to, all right, the defenses that he's called, they haven't looked like the same schematic concept that the 49ers have run. The 49ers chose Wilks over, and I know this is going to probably ruffle some feathers. They chose him over, you know who I'm going to say, right? Our old DC. He's in Miami now. I don't even want to say his name. But they chose him because of continuity with scheme. Now, the question is, how will the 49ers defense look different than what it did last year? Here's the man himself, the godfather of DBs.
Number one, I hope one of our goals, we talked about trying to lead the league in the least explosive plays. I think we gave up too many last year. So hopefully you don't see that. The fastest and quickest way to win a game is through the air. So as great as those guys may be playing up front, we got to make sure we secure things on the back end. So we don't want to give up explosive plays. That's number one. And two, we got to make more plays on the football, interceptions, and then find a way to get in the end zone with those.
Yeah, my biggest critique on the 49ers defense for, since Shanahan showed up was, man, takeaways are rough. They're hard to come by. Now, last year was kind of the anomaly in the fact that they led the NFL, or at least tied for the league with 20 interceptions, which was awesome. But the year before, they were dead last with 9. So, you're looking at 9-20. You're talking 11 picks. That's the difference in being first or last, Ricky Bobby. But yeah, like, I wanted ball hawking safeties, and I would scream it from the mountaintops. Not that I didn't love Jimmy Ward or Jaquaski Tartt. I did, but I wanted picks. I want turnovers. Now, the other way, right? Limit explosive big plays. And he said, and I think we can all agree, the Niners didn't do the best job last year in limiting those. It really hasn't. Because, you look at, that game, week 2, in the freaking monsoon. You completely destroyed the Chicago Bears for 3.5 quarters. They didn't have anything going on. And then you had that one busted play. And that was it. You had the turnovers, the sloppy play, whatever else. You could talk about Denver the week after that when Jimmy G came in. Destroyed them. They were booing Russell Wilson. It was week 3. Denver was booing their own team. And then we had 2 busted plays, and we cost the game. So if you can keep this elite defense, which I think the 49ers defense is going to be great, but if you can keep that and then enhance some of these other things, I think we're going to get some good things. I really, really do. Now, to the schematic question of, all right, how is this going to look different or the same? I love this because it's all about how he works with the strength of this defense, which is the front 7. The front 7 starts with the front 4. Chris Kusarik, that D-line coach, that's a beast. How are these things going to work forward? Oh, I love this answer.
You go against these guys, you see them on tape, you got the crossover film and those kind of things, and sometimes you really don't understand the teaching behind it, okay? The wide nines and those kind of things, what we may be doing up front. But once I was able to get here and understand how detailed he coaches everything, it fits into my philosophy and the things that I believe in. So we're on the same page. As a defensive guy and, running things from the back to the front, I emphasize every meeting pointing out things up front just to let those guys understand and know that it's just not lip service. Everything we do starts up front, and I want those guys to understand that.
And I think the tone was set whenever you go out and you get the number 1 free agent in all of the football, right? Javon Hargrave. Things ain't changing up front. And then the linebackers, you're not doing much different there because you got the best of the business of Fred Warner and I think a top 5 guy, Drake Greenlaw. Now you spend draft capital. You trade up your very first pick that you make is a safety. Then you take a corner later on. Like, you're backing up all of these concepts and saying, look, we're gonna stay, dominant on defense. That's not going to change. Look at this comment from Sean. What's up, Sean? He says, we are monsters short of the first down line. But come playoffs, we need an answer for the 40-yard bombs. Hope Wilks has it. Yeah, that's huge. And, the funny thing is, Demo talked about that. So let's go back to Demo. But before we do, right here, look at Jorn. What's up, man? He says, can't wait for the Pittsburgh 49ers Rush road trip. Man, I can't wait either. And we're about to add some more dates and some more cities that we're going to be traveling to. So if you're going to any 49ers game this year, I'm telling you, first stop is online. This is what you got to do. Going to 49ers games is awesome. But what's even better than that is going to 49ers games with the faithful, joining the community. And we got you covered. The 49ers Rush road trip is going into its 4th year of bringing the faithful together. Night before parties, tailgates the day of. We got you covered. Go get your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com. All right, make sure you go check that out. And we're looking to be adding some more cities and some more stuff to that soon. Some more home games as well as I am moving up there, which I'm very, very, very excited about.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.